Advertising. One of mankind's most effective and universally hated, yet loved if it benefits you, creations. There's a decent chance you might have gotten an ad before this video, especially now that Chrome is cracking down on all of those troublesome ad blockers. Advertising and marketing is a billion-dollar business. Companies budget for ads, marketing students go to school to study ads, but mainly to learn how to color within the lines, and you consume ads. Ads are prevalent across every industry, and the gaming industry is no different. However, today we're here to talk about a specific type of advertising: cross-promotional advertising. Cross-promotional advertising is a beloved marketing strategy in the games industry, often defined as a marketing strategy where two or more brands do a little Dragon Ball fusion dance to promote their products. Essentially throwing in their products into a blender, and voila, you've got a mix of two brands and it's some of the best, and or worst, depending on your worldview, products you can't imagine. This type of advertising is generally considered beneficial to both brands, as fans of one IP could become fans of another franchise or product they might have not normally purchased. For this reason, this strategy is extremely common in gaming, as there are a variety of beloved game franchises as well as characters attached to those franchises that fans will consume products for simply because of the branding and association alone. Even though cross-promotional advertising is already a subtype of marketing, there is still a variety of strategies companies employ that I'll be covering topic by topic in today's video. Some of these range from simply hiring a company to produce a product with their brand that they normally wouldn't make for things like pre-order bonuses, while others simply offer discounts on a product from a company they're partnered with. But no matter the case, I'm going to be looking at some of the odd examples today. I think it only makes sense that we'd logically look at some of the most tame crossovers first, that being promotional discounts. A promotional discount can be classified as a discount offered by buying a product that can be used to receive a discount on another product. For example, in 1997, Doritos began a partnership with Sony, offering discount code vouchers on PlayStation games within specially marked bags of Doritos. More recently, in 2008, on Soul Calibur's release, certain copies included coupons for Church's Chicken within the game, for some reason. For all you Xbox fans, you might also remember that starting back in 2012, Microsoft would partner with Doritos and Mountain Dew to give buyers a chance to win a variety of rewards that still seem to be going on to this day. It was also responsible for this terrible image of our boy Jeff Keighley that got him absolutely bullied across the gaming community. So tragically, it seems that Doritos had cheated on Sony, marking the end of their romantic involvement. Some of these offers, like the ones previously mentioned, focus more on a chance to win a discount, usually an 100% off discount in this case, but that's the issue with making video essays with strictly defined categories. Much like Frito-Lay and Microsoft, Pizza Hut also had a history of doing sweepstakes for gaming items as well. In December of 2013, 660 PS4s would be given out through a promotional event with Pizza Hut, giving customers a chance to win the new released game console while also picking themselves up a nice slice of pie. But even before this promotion, Pizza Hut had run a promotional event with Sony back in 2008. Starting in February of that year, Pizza Hut would partner with Capcom and Sony to give Japanese pizza enjoyers a chance to win a white PSP, a black Monster Hunter t-shirt, or a copy of Monster Hunter Portable 2nd G. I'm not sure why the colors of these items were so uniquely specified on the wiki article I found, but nothing wrong with accurately reporting things, I guess. Much more recently, Capcom would again partner with a food chain, this time Chipotle, for the release of Street Fighter VI. If you ordered online using the promo code HDKN23 to buy a fully priced entree, you would receive 250 in-game tokens for a limited time. It seems Twitch got in on this deal as well, since if you watched the Street Fighter VI stream for long enough, you would be rewarded with a free combo of chips and guacamole at Chipotle, which, knowing how much they charge for even a tiny cup of guacamole, it's a pretty good deal. These promotional crossovers are fairly easy for both companies to participate in, and for that reason have had hundreds, if not thousands, of similar campaigns over the years. In-game crossovers are what we'll define as games that include characters or references to brands or franchises outside of the original game's IP. The earliest example of a crossover game I could find would be 1989's Famicom Jump Hero Retsuden, an RPG published by Bandai in Japan. It would feature a variety of characters from the manga anthology Shonen Jump, such as Goku from Dragon Ball, Kanishiro from Fist of the North Star, and Joseph Joestar from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Since then, we've seen some insane crossovers from video game characters from a variety of different franchises pop up on a regular basis in the medium. I still remember sitting in driver's ed class watching Etika stream with my buddy Nate when Nintendo would drop the infamous tagline, "Everyone is here for Super Smash Bros." We all went fucking crazy. It was great. And as amazing as moments like these are, we're here to take a look at some more interesting examples of crossovers in games, ones that don't feature necessarily characters from other games, but instead appearances from non-gaming brands or franchises. Take, for example, crossovers between Pizza and Capcom, again, featuring Monster Hunter, again, where if you walked in and ordered up some pizza, you would receive a special code for the Pizza Peel Longsword and Monster Hunter Frontiers. Truly a work of art. In 2017, Arby's would work with Yacht Games to feature special themed Shovel Knight toys inside of Arby's Kids Meals, as well as a chance to unlock special Arby's themed skins in-game. Unfortunately, many parents who took their children to attempt to obtain this deal were immediately apprehended by Child Protective Service for, quote, attempting to intentionally give a child food poisoning, which in rare cases of ordering a roast beef sandwich would be considered premeditated homicide. Arby's would respond by having their CEO go on live television to calm these rumors, eating an Arby's roast beef sandwich in front of an audience before moments later collapsing from total organ failure. Roast beef-induced manslaughter aside, Tony Hawk's Underground 2 would feature Shrek as a playable character, which was unlocked by completing the game's story mode on easy, as well as you could unlock beloved kite-flying guy Ben Franklin. And although Ben Franklin isn't associated with the brand, I'm sure we can all agree that the man has a special place in our hearts. Aww. In fact, the Tony Hawk series is no stranger to having weird-ass playable characters in-game. Some of my favorites being Spider-Man, Gene Simmons, and Darth Maul. And although the Tony Hawk series is no stranger to allowing players to play as a variety of characters across brands, franchises, and even history, it seems 1994's NBA Jam Tournament Edition would follow a similar path, featuring Bill and Hillary Clinton, Al Gore, and Prince Charles as playable characters, because why not, I guess. And sometimes developers just put brands and characters in their games even if they're not allowed to, like 1989's The Revenge of the Shinobi, which featured Batman, Spider-Man, the Terminator, and Godzilla all as enemy encounters in the game. Hey guys, me editing this right now, just putting this in post, but I actually found out in trying to get footage for this that Spider-Man actually turns into Batman. It's one boss fight. Rambo is apparently also in that level, a little earlier on. And I also missed it, but the Terminator, Arnold, turns into the Hulk for some reason. So a lot of copyright infringement going on here. It seems for as long as there's been gaming, there's been weird-ass character features, brand tie-ins, and just overall weird-ass crossovers. And although I failed to mention a few of the more obvious ones or newer ones, like, Monster Energy and Death Stranding, or Fortnite with literally fucking anything. Hell, they had Goku in there, man. And of course, you can't forget all the weird shit modding can bring to a video game, but at the end of the day, games are made to be fun, so yes, Tony Hawk's Underground 2, I would like to perform a nail grind into a Jesus flippin' Shrek. Thank you for considering me as a player. What's weirder than brand crossovers in video games? Games made specifically for brands, and there are a lot more than you might think there'd be. Marketing agencies frequently look at what's trending to figure out the best method to promote a product, and beginning in the early 80s, video games would start to become more popular, and like horseflies on a watermelon, the marketing agencies pounced all over that shit. One of the first instances that I could find of this occurring was 1983's Kool-Aid Man, released for the Atari 2600. The game focused on a jug of Kool-Aid, collecting bomb things, I don't know what these are, and you had to dodge them too if you weren't in the right collecting mode. I'm really unsure of what's happening or how this relates to Kool-Aid, but it seems other companies looked at this pile of dog shit and thought, hey, it was good enough, so we ended up getting more. 1983 also saw the release of a few other branded video games, such as Purina's Chase the Chuck Wagon, in which you would play as a dog navigating through a maze to reach a chuck wagon, which I guess is one of these things. The Looney Tunes would also get in on this action, as right alongside the others in 1983, Taz would release on the Atari 2600, featuring the iconic character of the same name, and by feature I mean he kind of plays a little swirling tornado, dodging objects and collecting food, which I guess is a very Taz thing to do. Although not commercially available, Pepsi Invaders would also be released in 1983 on, you guessed it, the Atari 2600. Despite the name, ironically, it was commissioned by employees at Coca-Cola to be handed out to salespeople at one of their 1983 convention. It was pretty much just a direct ripoff of Space Invaders, except you shot at letters spelling Pepsi, as well as this little Pepsi logo UFO thing. Because of the poor documentation of many of these early releases, it's tough to say which of these all coincidentally branded Atari 2600 games were first released in 1983, but either way, they would set a precedent for other companies going forward. Because of the absurdity of some of these releases, there's still a decent chance you've heard of some of these games from larger, significantly more successful, and overall just better YouTubers. For instance, Capcom and Domino's would team up to release Yo Noid for the NES in 1990. The game was essentially just a direct ripoff of Namco's Wagon Land with a few modifications, and hey, wouldn't you know it also has a promotional discount, coming in with a whopping $1 off Domino's coupon inside the box. 1996 would see the release of Chex Quest, a game built on the Doom engine, which is Not difficult to tell. Cited as one of the first examples of games appearing in cereal boxes, you would run around from a pseudo first-person perspective shooting aliens with a laser remote thing. Yeah, I'm not sure what this had to do with checks, to be honest, but there was cereal on the ground sometimes, so, And of course we can't forget about the classic Pepsi Man, released in 1999 for the PlayStation, featuring the titular character in insane levels of Temple Run-like action. More recent examples of promotional games include the iconic Burger King trilogy, released in 2006 and 2007 featuring the king himself, as well as 2008's Doritos Dash of Destruction, available on the Xbox Live Arcade. And finally, I want to highlight one more that I own personally, that I couldn't find almost anyone talking about, and that being Neptune Quest from Taco Bell. From everything I can gather, the game outside of the logo has almost nothing to do with Taco Bell and was just included as part of a promotion in some of their meals. And it's just a simple comic book creator with these annoying little scuba diving kids. But it seems that this was far from the first instance of Taco Bell just slapping their logo on games and handing them out. Essentially just serving as a replacement for toys, but, I guess that worked. Finally, we have actual real-life products. Most of these tend to fall inside of weird promotions, however, and when it comes to weird promotions, the physical items these companies have sold are, odd. We'll start with a fairly tame, but overall confusing Dark Souls tea for the release of Dark Souls 3. I really don't know what the reasoning was behind this marketing decision, maybe because, tea and 3 sound pretty similar, but regardless, it wasn't sold as an actual promotional product, and it was instead auctioned off in collaboration with Yorkshire Tea to raise funds for Special Effect, an organization dedicated to helping with accessibility in gaming, which is nice.
Made me happy, made me smile, nice.
Following a month after the release of Guilty Gear Strive, a series of perfumes were released by the Japanese manufacturer Dreaming Princess, called Sol and Kai I de Parfum, I think. The colognes, or perfumes, or whatever the hell you want to call them, were themed around two of the main characters in the game, Sol Bad Guy and Kai Kisuke, each with their own unique scent. Sol Bad Guy's was described as a smoky scent reminiscent of Sol Bad Guy's dynamic battle style, which strikes with a pillar of flame. The refreshing scent conveys the rugged masculinity of actions speaking louder than words. And Kai Kisuke's was described as a soft yet gorgeous floral scent based on the spirit of Kai Kisuke's dedication to protect the weak with a sword. Very interesting. Another interesting collab was for the release of God of War 3. It seems Mountain Dew and 7-Eleven teamed up with Sony to release the Kratos Fury Slurpee, which apparently tasted like blackberries and lime. An even weirder promotion regarding God of War 3 was in collaboration with GameStop, Sony, and NASCAR. Yeah, these three decided to wrap one of the cars for the Scott's Turf Builder 300 race with part of Kratos' face right alongside a fat GameStop logo, because why not? And yeah, the previous ones were just kind of like, I don't know, maybe odd and maybe didn't make much sense, but this next one is just straight up kind of weird. For pre-order bonuses for the release of Infamous Second Son, condoms. They gave out custom condoms. I don't know why. What does this have to do with the game? No idea. And yeah, I guess that's everything I really feel like covering. For a lot of these marketing decisions, I feel like the logic and reasoning for the creation was, why not? But in some of these instances, I really need to know the intention behind it. Why? Why was this made? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe learned something new. If you remember any of these, or maybe some that I didn't mention, feel free to throw them down in the comments. And of course, special thanks to this month's patrons: Mads, Jimmy Chocolate Cream Boy Genius Kipjack, Griff, Einar Anderson, Turmeric, and Maddie Grady. As always, I really appreciate you guys, and thanks for sticking with me. I'll see you on the next one. For now, I've got to hit some gnarly grinds in Tony Hawk's Underground 2. But until then, take care.